let it be known that wokeism is a loser's mentality. But before we get into that, my name is Greg Foreman, and you're watching A Black Conservative Perspective. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow your boy on Twitter at GForemanBCP. And most importantly, share a Black Conservative Perspective. Let's get it. All right, so guys, I'm not watching the NBA, right? I've stuck to my word on that, but I do have to keep up with the news, right? So I do keep up with the scores and what's going on, just so I can get some good news stories like this, because I am super excited to talk about this. The Milwaukee Bucks, who's the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, just lost to the Miami Heat, which was a 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. Basically, I mean, the Heat basically should have swept the Bucks, right? And if you guys can recall, the Bucks, led by Giannis Antetokounmpo, I hope I pronounced that right the first time around, but led by Giannis, they led the NBA boycott. So they were the first team to decide that they're not going to play, and they basically didn't want to play because they thought they had some type of moral question of should they be playing while all these social justice movements are going on in the country. And to me, they was distracted, man. I mean, they was distracted. I mean, again, I didn't watch the games, but to me, I don't think this is a coincidence. Those guys was distracted, right? And this is what happens when you have your mind on the wrong thing, right? You're sitting here letting Breonna Taylor, Jacob Blake, Rashard Brooks, George Floyd, all these people that ain't got nothing to do with playing basketball, distract you from actually going out there and doing your job. And let this be a warning to people, right? Like, this victimhood mentality, it's a distraction from doing your job, going out there as an NBA player and making your money and doing what you got to do. And if I was a Milwaukee Bucks fan, I'd be pissed. Absolutely. I would be pissed. I would be pulling my hair out, because like I said, I tell you guys all the time about how mad I was at Eric Reed, when he gave up like 2-3 touchdowns in the game, and then after the game, the only thing he's talking about is Kaepernick. But you know what? That's fine, because the Milwaukee Bucks, you got what you wanted. You didn't want to play? They'll look at you. You're home. You're out of the bubble. You couldn't even stay in the bubble. You didn't want to stay in the bubble. The NBA players reportedly had a problem with being in the bubble. They got there and they were complaining about their nice hotel suites from Disney. It wasn't as upscale as they're used to. I mean, these guys are so coddled, right, that you can see that this victimhood mentality is really a mentality for the weak-minded, right? This is what it reveals to me, right? The Milwaukee Bucks are a weak-minded team. And then after the game, they want to talk about, well, we didn't have home field advantage because, the bubble. And nah, I don't want to hear none of that bullshit. I don't want to hear none of that. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. No team had home field advantage, right? You just straight up playing basketball. The best team wins. You were supposed to be the best team, not only in the Eastern Conference, but also in the NBA. You had the best record. So there's no excuses. You were distracted. Y'all minds was out there on protesting and being out there in the street and, doing your little social justice thing, putting your little messages on your jerseys and Black Lives Matter and all that other stuff, and you weren't focused on winning. And now you guys get an opportunity to do that. I want to see the whole Milwaukee Bucks team. I want to see these guys in their communities, at their local police stations, advocating for the change that they want so bad. That's what I want to see. I want to see them giving testimonies in front of Congress. I want to see them going on Fox News, going on CNN, talking about these issues, doing what they got to do. That's what I want to see. Put your money where your mouth is. You didn't want to play. Now you're eliminated. Now your butt is sitting on the couch. Go make the change that you want to see. But you know who wasn't distracted? Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. And I want to talk about Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler is a story that is anti-victimhood. Jimmy Butler is a story that most people should know and that people should look up to as what the American dream can be. This man, Jimmy Butler, his father left him early in his life. His mother didn't even want him. His mother told him, I don't like the way you look. I mean, basically put the man out on the street at 12, 13 years old. Right? Then he ended up living at a friend's house for a majority, of his high school. And he wasn't heavily recruited. at all, right? So he went to some some bum school before he ended up transferring to Marquette, where he spent a couple years working hard, doing what he had to do before getting drafted. I think almost like 30th overall by the Chicago Bulls, right? His rookie year in the Chicago Bulls, he didn't play much, but he was a great defender. He worked his way up, and eventually he became a star. And I don't know if you guys remember, but like I said, his stint when he was on the I think he was on the Timberwolves, they hated him. Right? They didn't like playing with him because he worked too hard. His mentality was that of an anti-victim mentality. And they had, guys like Karl Anthony Towns. They couldn't take it. Because they was guys that has been coddled their whole lives, have been told that, oh, they're so special, they're so great, right? And then you got a guy like Jimmy Butler who really, really came from nothing. Worked hard, worked his ass off, worked on his craft, did what he had to do, and guess what? He just took down the best team in the NBA on paper. That's the story that we need to be focusing on. That's an anti-victimhood story. This man, his social justice message that he put on his jersey, he didn't want to put one up there. He wanted to just leave it blank. Don't put nothing on my jersey. He didn't want to go with the whole Black Lives Matter thing and all this, say her name and all that bullshit. You know why? Because he's not a victim. He knows that. He's like, you know what? I'm just like everybody else in this country. Right? And I'm pretty sure he has some streaks of wokeism. He has to, considering what he's surrounded by. But again, I just love Jimmy Butler's story. I love this story about how somebody who worked hard, who took responsibility for himself, who had disadvantages in life, who overcame those disadvantages, who continued to work hard despite the odds, made it. They made it to the NBA. And when they got to the NBA, they continued to work hard. They continued to overcome the odds. This man just keeps overcoming the odds. That's the mentality that you need to succeed in this country. And then you have a team like the Milwaukee Bucks who went 100% wokeism, 100% victimhood mentality. Woe is me. We shouldn't be out here playing because, all this is going on in our country, blah, blah, blah. Y'all almost got swept by Jimmy Butler. And that's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing in my eyes. And I hope more people learn this lesson. Wokeism is a loser's mentality. Victimhood is a loser's mentality. Everybody in this country has an opportunity to be great if you put in the work. If you work hard, develop your craft, and also work smart. Not enough people talk about working smart. Working smart is also part of the equation. Because a lot of people work hard. A lot of people go to their jobs every day. They work hard. But not a lot of people work smart. If you do all those things, you have a chance. If you do all those things, you will find some success. Will you become the best at what you do? Maybe, maybe not. But like they say, shoot for the stars, reach the moon. It's simple. It's simple. And not enough people talk about that. They don't talk about the Jimmy Butlers of the world. They don't talk about the Tyler Perrys of the world. I might make a video on that. He just became a billionaire. Came from nothing. Nothing. He said, forget Hollywood. Right? I'm going to start my own Hollywood. Right outside Atlanta. T.I. called it Wakanda. Atlanta's Wakanda, right? This man built his own studio. He didn't need Hollywood. He built it from the ground up. That's the mentality that it takes. And if people start wallowing in victimhood, they realize that they have the opportunity to do the same exact thing. You're not a victim. You have opportunity. You have chances. People make it all the time. People beat the odds all the time. Life is not fair. Life is never going to be fair. Everybody's not going to be equal. Everything is not going to be proportionate. That's just how life is. And I love this Jimmy Butler story, and I hope he gets so much more attention and praise, and I hope his story gets brought to the light. I hope the media covers it, and I hope it's used as an antithesis to the whole victim mentality that they're pushing on young people. And to show that you can do it. You can overcome the odds. Nobody cares. Just shut up and work hard. That's the moral of this story. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.